What's up, guys? I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about tuning. This video is intentionally for mainly beginners uh, learning how to tune the guitar. Um, you might be thinking, well, I got an electric tuner, and that does just fine. Um, I'm not gonna say whether you should or whether you shouldn't. I will say that some guitar tuners are not made equally, and they can sort of throw you off a little bit. So uh, I believe that the best reason for tuning your instrument, okay, we're talking about guitars, tuning your guitar by ear is because it's ear training. You're training your ears to hear what is in tune and what is not in tune. And that, as a musician, as anybody getting into music, that's invaluable. You it almost for me it almost goes without saying that you have to be able to hear what's in tune and what's not in tune. If you're playing with a bunch of people and you get up on stage and your guitar's way out of tune, or you're singing and you're way out of tune, it's not going to sound good. Okay. There's only maybe 1% of examples that may sound okay if it's got some slight variation in it. We can argue that another time. And there are those examples, but usually those are intentional. But I want you to be able to hear when a note is exactly in tune. All right. So, and let me just say, my guitar is not in standard tuning. Don't worry about that right now. I'm not going to go through the whole which frets to hit for all the strings. We're just going to do the sound, what you're listening for. Okay. So let's say, and like I said, I'm not in standard tuning, so let's just say this fifth fret right here is a G, and I'm trying to tune the third string. I'm trying to tune those two strings together. Okay. So let's say this one's in tune. Okay. And I'm trying to tune the next string down from there. Okay. So you need to listen. Okay, here we go. Okay, do you hear that waving pattern in the audio? It's whoa, 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 whoa. It's kind of like it feels like it's pushing and pulling. Okay, that would indicate an out of tune note. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get those two strings, those two notes, to equalize to where there is no waving, no pushing and pulling, or anything like that. You're trying to get them as close as you possibly can. Okay? And I'll say this, with practice, you'll be able to hear which one is too low or which one's too high. In music terms, we would say if one is out of tune and it's lower than where it should be, you would call that flat. And if it's too high, you would call that sharp. But don't worry. You don't have to worry about that right now. Just the main thing is hearing what is in tune and what's not in tune. So I'll play that note for you again. Alright, so now let's tune it up a little bit. Let's tune this string right here up a little bit. Let's try it again. Alright. Now if you hear it, it's almost there. There's a slight wavering to it, but it's not nearly as bad as it was before. So we're gonna keep working on it. So let's go. Let's say we're gonna go up a little bit. We're not sure. Let's say, okay, well I think I'm getting close. Let me go up. Let me tune it up a little more. Okay, still. Actually, the wavering's got a little bit worse. Sounds a little higher, and it's gotten a little bit worse. So that might indicate to you that you went too far. So let's tune that one back down a little bit. Try it again. Okay, still not there. Let's keep on going. Well, to my ears, and like I said, this will take you some time. But to my ears, it is just about perfect. But there is a slight bit of wavering, and I'm sort of perfectionist, especially when it comes to tuning. So, but for the most part, that would work just fine. But you know, I want to try to get it better. So let's go down just a hair more. Now, I will tell you this, over time, when you get better and better at tuning, when two notes are so close to being in tune, and nothing in nature is perfect, right? There's going to be some very, very microscopic, slight variations in tuning, especially with acoustic instruments. But it will get so close that you'll swear you'll hear a third note. And I believe that third note is called a partial. Don't have to worry about that right now. Just worry about hearing that. So I don't know I hope you can hear this through this. But if you listen really close, maybe a second or two after I play the strings, you'll hear a higher frequency playing. It's there, it's very slight, and it's very subtle, but it's there. But anyway, that's a very good indication that you are right where you want to be. So that's it, guys. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to really go in depth, and I believe it's you know, depending on your situation. Let's say you're up on stage and you don't want to make a lot of noise, and you got a good electric tuner. Have at it. You know, I mean, if it's a good quality tuner, fine. But for the beginner and for anybody really, you don't want to neglect your ears. Okay, you don't want to neglect your ears. You want to train your ears over time to get better and better, and being able to spot these inaccuracies or these things. If a note's not in tune, I don't care what your guitar. For me personally, I don't care if I have a guitar tune machine that tells me that it is in tune. If I play them and I'm still hearing a wobble, it's not in tune. It's not. So that's why I tell you it's very important to train your ears. Learn how to tune by ear. Now, there's two. Let me say this real quick. There's two sort of aspects of this. Either you're born with what they call perfect pitch, which I wasn't, where you know whether a note is perfectly in tune or whatever, or know which, just by ear, by memory, you know what F sounds like in E. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm what you call a relative pitch. So to start out, I always